Well, try to. Unfortunately, if I do this, it will go dark for a moment, guys. So bear with us. It
Ooh.
won't go like.
Stage going black.
So if I add a window,
This is what's like behind the scene, a canopy.
pretty
Which of
much.
these buttons isn't quit?
Yes, I don't know why Godot can't move the window around. That's really
They can.
it can't. It genuinely can't.
Hmm.
Display capture. There we go.
Maybe I'm not understanding what you mean.
All right, perfect. That should override us.
Okay.
Then I make it full screen.
And go gadget game.
I'll press play, and then it'll launch in the middle of the screen, and then I'll just drag it across. Where'd it go?
Trail tabbing.
Well, now it's us again. Oh,
I mean, I see something. It's all very weird.
Okay, that didn't work for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe if I do it again now, the programs are running.
Let's find out.
Window capture, and then we'll figure out this bug for future.
Yep.
Is it the one that says debug? It is.
Ta-da.
That looks about right. Guys,
Yep.
Can you see the game? Pew, pew, pew.
Whew. I mean, I can, but only on your OBS, but that's fine.
That's fine for what we're doing here. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can all see now. Apologies for the technical difficulties, like speaking.
And the inability to say technical.
I was going to get away with that if it weren't for you meddling
I'm waiting
kids.
for the 30 seconds. There we go. Should be coming up.
Oh,
on
look at
design
that.
now.
Actually
There it
looks
is.
really nice, the shadow it puts on the ceiling there.
Yep. No, it makes a huge difference, the geometry.
Yeah. So this is just a quick low poly trellis that I added.
Well said, Deirdre.
I can't see the chat. You'll have to inform me.
You would almost think you guys do this professionally. So just adding a little bit of extra geometry inside the corridors gives a lot of more depth. Like the way the shadows change everything, it just makes it a lot.
I wasn't sure. I genuinely wasn't sure whether or not this would be too small or too big a gap to walk through. So I thought I'd get.
Well, I've had to narrow the walls. You see, with those little gutters.
Oh yes.
Because it was too wide, whereas the archways actually had those runners. So I tested them on the long pieces.
Yeah. Nice.
But I like the ceiling. It just as a general shape. It feels very wide, but we can narrow that down. Let's see if you can find a portal or the shop.
Be awesome. So one of the things with live streaming is it never goes right.
No.
There's always some technicality.
Also, don't forget I'm watching 30 seconds behind, so when I'm giving like
I've got a skull crown.
I gave you a skull crown back.
Nice.
For those who missed it last week, Mikey does that every time, so I made it so if you jump on the throne, the skull falls off and lands on your head.
Pew pew. I found a crate. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, thank you, Deirdre. There's a lot you can do with Godot 4, and this is without any real texturing. I mean, this is just flat colors. There's no normal maps.
Yes,
to speak
we
of.
definitely need to. Now, it was very interesting. So this in Blender looked a lot sharper as it came into the corner, into the middle. But as you can see here on the screen at the moment, there's this area where it just goes smooth. So I need to play with sharpness, perhaps even break the geometry.
Play with sharpness, but I will also say add in a few more colors and a little bit more detail. Like that's going to make the big difference.
Oh, I like some of these darker areas as well.
Yeah, I've changed the power of the lights and how many lights there are. So there's now a 50% chance for a light to appear as opposed to 75%.
Yeah, that really does add to the ambience of the.
But let's see if you can find a portal, because you've not seen these in action yet. You've just seen screenshots.
Okay, so this is weird, and this is feedback for myself. I'm just sort of speaking out loud here.
I've changed how the floors generate. Yeah,
the way that these elements interface with the floor is just not right. If we were to have these in here,
you threw this together, like.
No, but I want to see this. It's the first time I've really seen it in action other than a screenshot. And here it really needs something to interface with the floor, whether that's debris, whether it's an actual mounting point or something else, but it needs something there. It can't just exist like that. Maybe even some sort of metal bolts pulling it down. So, a flange or
definitely.
Something like that.
I've actually added some metal bolts to some of the wall pieces, or not metal bolts,
I like that.
Roderick says, good choice of ceiling. Looks nice and appropriate. Yes. I mean, so we were talking about having different types of ceiling. I don't know that we're going to be using them all in this particular course, but certainly for asset packs, because you could have a nice gothic fluted one. You could have this lovely cellar style ceiling.
Yeah,
Um,
when I handed them across to Jan, the first thing I said is they're a bit Romanesque, but then they don't suit the Gothic style that we've got on some of the other
I mean, I have a
walls.
different vision for how to do these, but that's always what's interesting about working with someone else is you get that creative input from getting something you weren't expecting. Deirdrick says the reflection of the light on the floor tiles is delightful. Yes, I've actually turned off screen space reflection because it wasn't adding a lot except for dropped frames. So, yeah. Have you
Oh,
found a
is this
portal
a
yet?
portal room?
Yes.
Stargate, anyone? Hee.
So now you actually have to walk into the portal. It won't just warp you by setting on the thing, so you can get closer to them.
Oh, that's awesome. The question is, are there just 2 on this level? There might be.
It's possible.
How many different color variations are there of the portal? Sorry, I'll
9, I think.
make people vomit if I'm not careful. Yeah, portal.
I mean, there's no effect or anything. It was just a, can I get this working?
Yes. I mean,
Have you noticed, by the
they're
way,
pretty
the
awesome.
moving normal on it?
Oh, the ripple in the middle.
Yeah,
I hope the YouTube compression did that.
it's looking fine. I'm just getting the 30-second gap now to see it.
Now
Um,
these coins are not so bouncy and
I've
explosive as
I've
they toned
limited
it
the
down.
upward thing. Last time I exaggerated it so it'd go above your head. Now they just look like they're escaping the chest.
Yee.
But
I don't
for
know.
those who missed it
Oh,
last week, fun use
oh,
of particles.
oh! What?
Yeah, on the 4 ways, I've put it on each of the 4 to see what it looks like.
That would actually look pretty neat with some metal work
Yeah,
rather
I
than wood.
know.
Yeah. Okay. Proof of concept. This is what you need to do, guys. Is just bash stuff out and see how it looks. We
And it
couldn't
makes
have
a
tried
huge
it
difference
otherwise.
because, like, I
Uh,
now know things I can do with it. Mikey knows ways we can go with it. We can give each other feedback, and that's when we start getting good assets, right? Because initially, if you just have these flat walls, they look fine as pieces. You put them in Blender, you put them in the game, and there's just no detail anywhere. Like you can't do anything with it.
yeah, it was interesting. The back and forth that Jan and I had trying to work out what we meant. Oh, new room.
This is the unique shop room. I
Ah,
just threw
nice.
this together in a couple of minutes to be a thing.
Yes, one of the interesting back and forths that Jan and I were having were trying to get the information across. Oh, lots of chests. So one of the we were trying to work out what each other meant, and I thought
Mm.
that Jan meant things more like the torches, maybe having some other stuff hanging off the wall. There needs to be a support there. Note for later,
Yeah, whereas what I
like
actually
that.
mean is the walls themselves need more things to block the light, right? We want
Yes,
more interesting shadows
more
because that
shadows.
gives the atmosphere,
Yeah. Whereas this
especially with things like
is
body
nice and
metrics.
lit up and nice. It's clean and polished. This is what the dungeon looked like before, just after the builders had left. No, that's a lie. After the cleaning crew came in, after the builders had left. Um, skeleton crew. Ah,
Ah, what kind of PC is this running on at the moment? A Windows one. I'm sorry, he won't use Linux. I keep trying to make him.
my lots of stuff
I don't know
doesn't
what you're
work on
using.
Linux.
Well,
So this is
I'm
a
running when I run it on my computer. I'm running Pop OS, and I'm running a what do you call it? NVIDIA 1080, so we're a couple of generations behind. I have 16 RAM of 16 meg of RAM and an i7, I think. 60 gig, sorry. An i7. Wow, I just went back to 1992. And I can comfortably get around 55 to 65 frames a second, depending what's happening. Occasionally, I'll drop down to 45. Mikey, what are you running right now?
can I correct some of your specs?
No.
Okay. I'm running a Ryzen 7 5950X with a RTX 3090.
Right. And the frame rate's actually printed at the top right of your screen. What have you got?
It's locked to when it gets as high as it goes. It's locked to 120 at the moment.
Right. Now, there is some optimization I'm doing here, mostly occlusion culling, which is making a huge
Oh, it made a
difference. Yeah,
huge
no, I know
difference.
vintage. I remember when 512 K was excessive. Like my first computer was a 32K computer, which we upgraded to 64, and that was more than you could ever need. And for a while on DOS machines, the amount of RAM that the machine could access was capped because no one believed you would ever need more than 64K. So they had to add more and more memory types so that you could
I
just
I I
go into
I
more.
came into computing with my 286, and I
Wow.
remember trying to allocate and playing around with mouse drivers, because out of that 640K that you could use, obviously that would load all your base drivers in, and I wanted sound and to use a mouse, and this was a problem.
Oh yeah, no, you had to boot disks. By the way, I forgot to mention. I can't remember where the library is from here, but the library's now been changed so that the carpets are reactive to where the doors are.
Oh, so they lead in from there. I'm just showing people the portal close up at the moment.
Yeah, if you fire into it, it'll light up as well. I know it won't because you're too close, and because it's black. You can't light black. I'm lying.
I'm like, I keep shooting, it's not lighting up.
And of course, he can press tab and regenerate the whole dungeon.
I haven't seen a library yet, I don't think.
So press tab and regenerate the dungeon and find a library.
Doop.
I mean, you have seen one because it was the thing reminded me.
Oh, okay.
Server room.
I must have skirted through. But yeah, this is really coming on now and starting to
It's
take
coming along
shape,
nicely. So
especially with some
getting it
proper
to
assets.
be able to place props depending on where the walls are was a big trick. Here we go.
So here we've got a
Um,
library out of there, and if it was
yep, it could be
anything that it wanted to be.
with all this talent it had.
Yep.
Really, Bugsy Malone? No one quotes Bugsy Malone.
Is she? I quote Bakshi Malone.
But we decided a fact we take pride in to be
Oh,
the very best at
nice.
being bad.
So
Oh, nice library.
yep. So we've got a T junction
Just
one
don't like
here
these tables.
and here. Nice. So a nice
Yeah.
big library.
Now you'll notice that the carpets don't actually touch in the middle because I haven't set them up properly, but as a proof of concept, this is what I was doing.
Oh yeah. But it looks good. And the fact that they're dynamic as well, so it automatically
It took a little
changes.
bit of fixing. Oh, I've also redone all of the where the floors and rooms are done because I was just adding rooms in one at a time as I came up to them. I thought, oh, I'll fix it later. We'll get to about 7 room types. And suddenly, when I want to change the script, I have to go back and do it. So I got rid of every single room, remade them as instances of a template room, and now it's much more modular, which is what I should have done in the first place.
Hindsight is
Oh no, I knew I'd have to do it. I just never did it. Coins.
yay!
I mean,
Money.
bouncing particles. Does it get better than that? Oh, one more thing I've done. You may not have noticed, but you know, on those round step rooms, the altar and the sanctum, you don't have to jump anymore.
Oh, it's always a good thing when you don't notice something, but you're quite right. It doesn't
Yep.
get stuck. You've
Because before it was like, oh, well, I can put up with this, and now you don't notice it at all. And I had to do quite a sneaky piece of sneaking to do that. I had to generate a cone mesh, get it the right kind of shape, get it to automatically make a convex collision shape for it, and then remove the mesh.
I think I just teleported a barrel into the void by jumping on it.
Yes.
Donkey Kong smash.
Yeah, the angelic looking torches or the dragon torches, depending on how gothy you're feeling, a
Complete
wonderful little
coincidence.
mistake.
That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome the way that that ended up showing up.
Whereas the skull torches in the coffin room don't work, so I just remove the shadows from them.
Right, if I do this, oh, we appear again. No,
Oh, so close.
nice try. There we go.